So good morning. We are the group 3 of 1G. So our topic for today is the basic function of computer, which is composed of the input, output, processing, and storage. So first, we are going to tackle the input devices.
Okay, for the first is input. Next, what is input? Input is any information of data sent to a computer for processing is considered input. Input devices allow the user to input data and instruction to the computer. So, ang sinasabi sa input, dito natin sa malalaman sa input ay lahat ng makikita mo sa loob ng computer ay tinatawag siya na input or lahat ng isinasaksak sa computer ay or sa laptop ay matatawag natin siyang input. So, andun yung example ng input na nasa makikita natin sa picture na may example dyan na kagaya ng keyboard na isinasaksak siya sa computer. So, malalaman natin sa mga input devices yung mga example ng input. Next. So, andito tayo sa input devices. So, first, keyboard. Keyboard is the most popular input device for the direct entry of data and instruction into a computer. A keyboard is composed of buttons that creates letters, numbers, and symbols, and other functions. So, ang keyboard ay isinasaksak din siya sa computer or meron din sa mga meron din keyboard for iPad na ginagamit na para mas mapadali yung pagka-type nila. So, ang keyboard ay makikita dito natin sa keyboard ay makikita natin ay puno ng letters at numbers at symbol at iba pa. Next. So, main typing keys. The typing keys include the letters of the alphabet generally laid out in the same pattern used for typewriters. So yes, main typing keys, ito ay include the letters that of the alphabet generally laid out in the same pattern used for typewriters. So, ito yung parang hindi siya parang sa keypad na cellphone na per 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 piece is madaming letters siya na dapat pindutin. Ito yung pattern niya sa yung keyboard ay para sa mga typewriters talaga. So, yun. Next. Numeric keypad. So, numeric keypad make it easier to enter large amounts of numeric data. Frequently, the keys on the numeric keyboard also serve as cursor control keys. So, makikita natin sa gilid ng sa right side ng keyboard, doon natin makikita yung mga numbers, mga numeric keypads para 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 pag nagte-type tayo ng mga numbers is hindi na tayo para mas madali tayo sa pagte-type ng mga numbers like mga calculator, parang ganun siya. So, yung mga function keys niya is ito namang function keys, especially keys labeled F1 to F12. These keys have different meaning depending on which program is running. So, may mga sa mga F1, F2, F2, F1 to F12 na yan ay may mga iba't ibang meaning siya na depende sa pag-running ng mga program. So, kagaya ng F5, we all know na F5 is for refresh sa computer. So, next. And the mouse. A computer mouse is a handheld hardware input device that controls a cursor in a GUI and can move and select text, icons, files, and folders on the computer. So, makikita natin sa example ng mouse. So, diyan makikita natin na shape arrow siya na nagagalawin mo siya gamit yung kamay mo para makontrol yung mga gusto mong kung saan gusto mong pumunta, ganon siya yung magse-select ng icon ng mga text or files na gusto mong puntahan. So, next. A microphone. A microphone is a hardware, peripheral, and input device originally invented by Emily Berliner in 1877. A microphone allows computer users to input audio into their computers and also to use as the main source of voice in video or online chatting. So, makikita natin yung example ng microphone. So, lahat tayo ay gumagamit ng microphone. Kagaya ngayon, gumagamit ako ng microphone para marinig niyo yung voice ko through video chat. So, yan. Gamit ko ngayon ay microphone. So, lahat, may iba't ibang klase ng microphone. So, hindi na siguro natin mapapakita yun ngayon. But, ito lang yung mapapakita natin example na microphone. The picture is an example of low microphone Yeti USB microphone, silver edition, and an example of high-quality computer microphone. So, makikita natin sa mga gumagamit ng microphone ngayon ay gumagamit ng mga online gamers. So, especially sila, yung mga nag-i-stream, gumagamit sila ng microphone. So, next. A webcam. A webcam is a camera that connects to a computer. It captures either still pictures or motion video and with the aid of software can transmit its video to the internet in real time. So the example of the webcam, the picture of the Logitech webcam C270, an example of a webcam. So, ang webcam ay ginagamit talaga sa computer para makita yung kausap mo, like that. So, lalo na ngayon sa Zoom, yon madalas natin ginagamit yon sa mga Zoom, Google Meet, yan, gumagamit tayo ng webcam para kasi dun makikita natin yung kung sino ba yung mga kausap natin, ano ba ginagawa ng kausap natin. At sa webcam, pwede kayong mag-pictures doon, gumawa ng video. So, para na nako-connect sa computer. Yun. So, next.
Classes. Next. When a computer receives data from an input device, the data goes through an intermediate stage before it's sent to an output device. Next. Processing device. Next. A processing device is any device in a computer that handles the intermediate stage of processing the incoming data. For example, in the different diagram at the top, the CPU is processing devices. Next. CPU or central processing unit. The brain of a computer. It has a control unit to coordinate activities, the CPU and the main memory and primary storage. Next. The chip or chips at the heart of a computer that enable to process data. It is also known as processor. A small piece of semiconducting material such as silicon, about 1 centimeter and 1/4 inch square of one integrated circuit is embedded. Next. The components of the CPU. The CPU processing unit contains 6 main components. Number 1, control unit or CU. Number 2, arithmetic logic unit or ALU. Number 3, register. Number 4, cache. Number 5, buses. Number 6, clock. Next, control unit or CU. It pitches, decodes, and execute instructions. It issues control signals that control hardware. It moves data around the system. Next, arithmetic logic unit. The ALU has two main functions. It performs arithmetic and logical operations or decisions. It acts as a gateway between primary memory and secondary storage. Data transfer between them passes through the ALU. Next, register. Register are small amounts of high-speed memory contained with the CPU. The address of an instructions to be executed. The current instructions being decoded. Next, cache. Cache is small amount of high-speed random access memory or RAM built directly within the processor. This allows for faster processing as the processor does not have to wait for the data instructions to fetch it from the RAM. Next,
Buses. Three types of buses are used. Number one, address bus carries memory addresses from the processor to other components such as primary memory and input and output devices. Number two, data bus carries the actual data between the processor and the other components. Number three, control bus carries control signals from the processor to other components. The control bus also carries the clock pulses. The buses, a bus moves instruction and data around the systems. Next, clock. The CPU contains a clock which is used to coordinate all of the computer's components. The clock sends out regular electrical pulse which synchronizes all the components. Next, GPU or graphics processing unit, a single chip processor primarily used to manage and boost performance of video graphics. Graphics processing unit, a specialized processor originally designed to accelerate graphics rendering. Next,
Storage. Storage is a process through which digital data is saved within a data storage device by means of computing technology. Storage is a mechanism that enables a computer to retain data, either temporarily or permanently. Storage. This is the essential part or component ng isang computer. Kumbaga, ito ay parang bag para paglagyan ng mga gamit. Like computer storage, ito ang nagsisilbing bag ng isang computer para paglagyan ng mga data or files. There are two classifications of storage, the volatile memory and the non-volatile memory. Volatile memory computes memory that requires constant power to maintain the stored information, requires a consistent flow of power to retain data, affects the system performance, holds data temporarily, faster, refers to primary storage type. Ito isang classification ng storage kung saan lahat ng input data ay mawawala or ma-erase once na ang power source ng computer or PC ay nawala. Non-volatile memory computes memory that can store information even there is no constant power, does not requires a consistent flow of power to retain data, affects the system storage, holds data permanently, slower, refers to secondary storage type. Uri ng storage na kung saan mare-retain ang lahat ng saved data even if the computer loses the power source. Sample of volatile is the DRAM memory modules, where the non-volatile memory, floppy disk, compact disk, internal hard drive, external hard drive, flash drive, and SD card.
Next. Common storage device. Next. Hard disk. A computer hard disk drive is a non-volatile memory hardware device that controls the positioning, reading, and writing of the hard disk, which furnishes the data storage. Hard disk drive are commonly used as main storage device in computer. Ang hard disk drive ay isang uri ng medyang imbakan or storage media na ginagamit ng mga computer. Ito rin ang medyang imbakan na taguan ng kanyang na kayang magtago ng mga datang umaabot sa 1 terabyte. May kakayahang 40 GB to 500 GB lamang ang pangkaraniwang ginagamit ng mga hard disk drive. Mabilis ang pagtakbo ng mga ito at naglalaman ng sistemang pampaandar. Next. Floppy disk is a type of disk storage composed of a thin and flexible disk of a magnetic storage medium in a square or nearly square plastic enclosure lined with a fabric that removes dust particles from the spinning disk. The first 8-inch floppy disk had a storage capacity of about 80 kilobytes. By 1986, IBM introduced the 3 to 1/2 and 1-inch floppy disk with 1.44 megabytes of storage space. Next. Tape drives is a data storage device that reads and writes data on magnetic tape. Magnetic tape data storage is typically used for offline archival storage. Yung tape drives ko, kung meron tayo mga lumang radyo sa bahay or mga radyo, makikita natin to minsan. Ito yung parang mahabang electrical tape na itim pero manipis lang siya. Dito, removable, natanggal. So, pwede mo rin ikabit. Tapos, ewan ko kung uso pang ito. Pero kasi nakikita ko to, parang matagal na. Hindi ko alam kung meron pa ngayon, pero yun. Removable siya sa mga device na ginagamitan nito. Next. CD-ROM. A CD-ROM or compact disc read-only memory is a prepressed optical compact disc that contains data. CD or compact disc ay isang klase ng storage media. Kadalas itong ginagamit para lagyan ng musika o awitin sa formang digital, maging MP3 man or CDA. Ito rin ay popular na medium para sa software. So kung aware naman tayo sa itsura nito, 'di ba? Ito yung madalas nakikita natin na pinaglalagyan ng mga video, movies, music, tsaka ng mga reporting. So parang madalas 'tong ginagamit sa mga DVD player. Then yun lang. Next.
And now we have output. Next. When we say output, it is a way of the outside world by converting process information to physical outputs through the use of output devices. So pag sabi nating output, ito yung pakikipag-communicate ang computer sa user niya sa pamamagitan ng output devices. When we say output devices, these are devices that displays the results of the process data by interacting with our senses. Next. So nakikipag-interact pala yung mga output devices sa senses natin. So they can be in the form of visual or nakikita natin sila, audio, naririnig, o tangible object o nahahawakan natin. Next. Unahin muna natin yung visual output devices o yung nakikita ng mga output. Next. First is the visual display monitor or the VDUs. VDUs are television-like screens that provides a user interface in the form of display of text, numbers, and images. It could be monochrome or yung black and white or colored. So ito lang, pag sabi natin VDUs, ito yung typical na computer screen natin na makikita natin yung mga letters, kung ano yung nangyayari sa program na ini-interact natin, tsaka etc. Next. LED o light emitting diode. LED are semiconductor light source that emits light when current flows through it. So nakikita natin mga LED, kunyari sa pag pinrest natin yung power button ng PC, iilaw yung power button para nag-i-indicate na naka-turn on na yung PC. Next. Sunod naman yung audio output devices o yung output devices that produce sound. Next. The speaker audio response system. It is a verbal output or responses that are standardized as replies to a special request for information. Ito yung kadalasan nating naririnig sa PC natin or mga electrical device natin pagka may notification or may notice. Next. Sunod naman yung tangible output devices o yung gumagawa ng nahawakan na outputs. Next. Output devices that produces hard copy outputs. So katulad nga nun, mga printer or Xerox machine. The outputs could be 2D in shape or 3D. Next. Wala muna natin sa 2D printers. Pag sabi natin 2D printers, nakakapaggawa sila ng mga outputs on a flat surface or sa mga paper lang. Unang type ng printer is yung character printers. Printers that print one character at a time. Example na isang character printer is yung dot matrix printer. It uses a 9 or 24 print head that can produce 50 to 60 character per second. These pins are aligned into the shape of a character in the head. Strikes the ribbon producing the character in the paper. So makikita natin sa picture paano gumagana yung DMP. Ina-arrange yung mga pin niya sa letter na kailangan kopyahin. Tapos, ipiprint niya ngayon isa-isa sa papel. Next. Sunod naman sa ink. Next is the inkjet printer. Inkjet printers spray ink particles to a nozzle. It is the same price as DMP but has higher operating cost and quality compared to DMP. So itong inkjet paper, napiprint siya sa pamamagitan ng pag-spray ng ink through a nozzle sa papel. Next. Sunod naman, we have line printers. So mas mabilis siya kumpara doon sa character printers kasi line printers print one line at a time instead character by character. One example of a line printer is the drum printer. Drum printer has a drum that rotates at high speed and a set of character is embossed on the drum. Then a hammer for a particular character is achieved when that character under the drum passes under it to produce the character impression on the paper. Next. Next is the page printer. Ito yung pinakamabilis sa lahat ng printer, sa naunang dalawang printer. Kasi page printers can print a whole page at a time. Example ng page printer is yung laser printer. Laser printer uses the same technology as of that of Xerox copier machines and can produce both character and graphic contents. Next. Next is yung 3D printer. Ito yung pinaka-latest sa lahat ng printer na pag-usapan natin. 3D printers generally produce three-dimensional objects of varying shapes and sizes with the help from a CAD or computer-aided design model or a digital 3D model. So makikita natin sa picture, may kakayahan siyang mag-produce ng 3D objects. Kaya itong 3D printers, in demand din siya sa production industry kasi sa minuscule size siya lang, kahit maliit lang yung size niya, kaya niya makapag-produce ng maraming mga bagay. So, sa pamamagitan ng 3D printers, yung mass production nagiging posible na. Next.
So that's all for the discussion of the basic function of computer. So for the summary po, we have composed of input, processing, output, and the storage device. So basically, without input, wala tayong mabubuo na output kasi input is ito yung mga devices na kailangan para malagay yung data sa processing, which is ipoprocess ng processing devices. Tapos mabubuo na yung output device. Pag nabuo na yung output device, may stock na siya sa storage or pwedeng ma-print out or mag-show sa screen. So without these components, hindi mabubuo yung basic function or yung mismong compute. So that's all. Thank you for today.